So, wanted to make a video, have a quick conversation about. Y'all know I keep saying conversation like I'm talking to. It's a reciprocal exchange. It's not. It's just me talking to this camera. But in any event, I feel like it's a conversation. So, wanted to talk about something that happened the other day. I was Pharaoh and I were home alone, and I was doing something in the kitchen, or I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I started looking for Pharaoh. Couldn't find him anywhere. So I'm looking, I'm calling his name, and I know that he hears me calling his name. It's not like we live in a 14,000 square foot home. So I'm looking for him. I'm calling his name, nothing. So at the point that my tone becomes really elevated, Pharaoh appears coming out of Tyler's room. Okay. The look on his face was priceless. And I could tell that he was trying to figure out whether or not I was about to go ham on him for being in Tyler's room, because I've made it pretty clear to everyone. I typically keep Tyler's door closed. I keep his bathroom door closed. So being in there was not something that I was expecting, and he knew that it was something that I probably would have forbidden. So he comes out of Tyler's room, and I look at him and I'm like, what were you doing? What were you doing in there? Now, his face, like you could have bought him for a nickel, seriously. So my face was probably, along with my tone, was probably a little raised, a little elevated, a little heated. But I was truly wanting to understand why you were in Tyler's room. What were you doing? And why is it that when I'm calling you, you're not responding? So, okay, issue. So, see y'all later. So he says that he was looking for something, and it was like right in that moment I was getting ready to pounce. I honestly was, and I halted, and it was in that very moment that I realized what I wanted to make a video and talk about today. What I realized was, for 3 months, I have been extremely, extremely, extremely selfish, in that Tyler was not just my son. He was Pharaoh's brother. He was a grandson. He was a friend. He was a cousin. He was a nephew. He was all of these things to different people. But I'd been looking at everything in such a narrow, from such a narrow context, that I literally was ashamed. And I had to apologize to Pharaoh. Because as I'm grieving, everyone that had any contact or knew Tyler, they're also grieving. And I really had kind of tuned the rest of that out, and it was just about me, and realizing how selfish I was to not acknowledge other people's grief, other people's pain. I felt selfish in that moment, and so I apologized to him, and we had a really long, really good talk. And he asked me, that was like, I think that was yesterday. So today he asked me, he came in and he was kind of, tipping around. So I knew he wanted something. He had to talk to me about something. And his question to me was, he asked if I would be okay with him moving into Tyler's room. I'm not necessarily sure. And I was honest with him. I'm not sure that I'm ready for that to happen just yet. But I realize, it may It may be part of Pharaoh's healing, his grief process, and I need to be cognizant of that. So I'm saying that, being around individuals that, I mean, again, we all grieve differently. So you really need to take into consideration how others may be feeling, what they may be experiencing, and not necessarily be so focused on yourself. Um, and I know that's different for everyone, and everyone may not be able to do that, but I have the ability to come outside of Tanisha and say, hey, Pharaoh's grieving as well. And if this is what he needs, then we need to figure out how to help him manage this. If he needs to stay in the room, I'll get myself together in order for him to be able to do that. But it's realizing, I mean, again, it took me all of that time to hone in on the fact that I'm not the only one grieving. And people are going to say, give yourself permission to be selfish, and you gave birth to him, and I get all of that, and I understand where that's coming from. That's not me, though. Anyone that knows me, I can be selfish about a lot of things, but this is not necessarily one that I want to be selfish about, that I would feel okay being selfish about. I have to allow those around me to grieve in their way, and I need to be open to what that grieving looks like. So it was really just a realization I came to yesterday. I've been selfish for the past couple of months, and I intend to make some changes where that's concerned. But it was funny how it hit me, and I recognized it all of a sudden. I mean, I was 45 hot. Like, I was ready to give poor Pharaoh the business, and he was just dealing with it in his own way. So I just wanted to say, be it you that are grieving, or you are around someone that's grieving, I think it's just important that everyone is cognizant of those around them. Some may be able to handle it a little better than others, but I mean, for the most part, try to understand and feel and empathize with, sympathize with where someone else is coming from. So, short, sweet, and to the point. Just wanted to make a quick video about that, but I'm going to go into the next days, months, years being cognizant of those around me. Can't promise or guarantee that I'm going to always can't promise or guarantee that I'm going to always be perfect when it comes to, but I'm going to do my best to allow everyone to grieve in their own way, and to be supportive and not so selfish. So enough of the mumbling. Just wanted to say that, and I thank you all again for letting me ramble.